Do you feel stuck? Maybe that you're at a roadblock or an obstacle and you're not sure how to move on? Well, today I want to share with you a 4-step process to help you navigate those types of situations. So make sure to tune in. Hey everybody, well, thank you for tuning in today. I want to share with you something that I have found incredibly helpful in my lifetime. Oftentimes, we have a destination in our mind. We know where we're going and how we're going to get there, and we set on the course. And oftentimes, that destination is meaningful, it's powerful. Maybe it's the dream of our life. Maybe it's a goal that we need to accomplish for the next phase of our life. And we put a lot of energy into this path, into this plan. We're working hard. We're trying to do the right thing. We're trying to juggle all these different balls. And then something happens. We hit a roadblock. Something that we weren't expecting, something that we didn't see coming. And that roadblock can be almost anything. It could be the loss of a loved one or a job. It could be a fight with a close friend or a family member, a relationship that's going sour. Maybe it's the loss of income, or who knows what it is. Fill in the blank. But really, those roadblocks, when they come, they almost seem to paralyze us. We don't know what to do because of that situation. What do we do when we face roadblocks? How do we get to where we're trying to go? I want to share with you a tool that I have learned that is incredibly helpful for me when I've hit roadblocks in my life. And it's an Army acronym that I learned a long time ago, and it is called the OODA Loop. So what exactly is the OODA Loop? Well, it's a 4-step decision-making process that allows you to gather information and quickly make a decision so that way you can continue on towards your goal. Really, what it is a process to help you not be stuck, to be able to keep moving towards your goal, your objective, your plan. And you can continue to gather information along the way so that you can continue to adjust, continue to go through that OODA loop as you are navigating to your actual goal. Before I explain the steps of the OODA loop, what I'd like you to do is maybe comment below and share with us some of your decision-making tools so that way we can learn from each other, because I know that there's a wealth of knowledge out there and I'm always up for learning some new things. The first step of the OODA loop is O, observe. What this means is that you need to observe the situation that you find yourself in. And the most important part in observing is identifying what the actual problem is. When we're trying to recognize what the problem is, we must understand two things: that both the world and the people around us are complex. And what we might initially think is the problem may not actually be the problem. That's why we need to observe. We need to take that quick break, that quick time out, and ask ourselves, what is actually going on here? We must recognize that the things that we may initially see as the problem might actually be a symptom of something that's much deeper. And if we want to get to our goal, if we want to achieve what we're trying to do, sometimes we need to dig a little bit deeper and address the actual problem, not just the symptoms of the problem. The second letter of the acronym is O, and it stands for ORIENT. Once we've gathered information and facts, and we've identified what the actual problem is, then we orient ourselves to the situation. What that means is we recognize that there's many different courses of action that we could take. There's many different things that we could do in the situation, and we start to analyze based off the information that we know and what the problem is on what we should do next. The third letter of the acronym is D, which stands for decide. And this is what we do after we've gathered the information, we've oriented ourselves, we know the different things that we could do. Now we decide what we're going to do. And I think this here is probably the most difficult one. It's the one that paralyzes a lot of people because they're afraid of making a mistake or making the situation worse. They don't know if they should do X or if they should do Y. Maybe they both equally look good and they don't want to choose the wrong one. And I want to encourage you, don't let fear hold you back. Choose something and run with it. And that leads me to the final acronym of the letter A, which stands for ACT. Once we've made the decision, we act on it. We put it into motion. We start doing what we need to do to tackle that problem that we identified. And this is something that's important to recognize. This process, the OODA process, is a loop. So once we act on it, we continue to take information and put in the pieces together, identify new problems, and see if the course of action that we chose, that we decided on, and that we're acting on was really the best one. And if it wasn't, that's okay. We can adjust course and continue moving on. There's a saying that I heard long ago, and I think it's true. And it says that it's easier to steer a moving ship than it is to steer a ship that is sitting at dock. And oftentimes in our lives, when we hit these barriers, we dock our ship there and we never move on. But I want to encourage you to use the OODA Loop or some other process to continue on your path and continue to steer and use course corrections as you go. And then eventually you'll get to your destination. Enjoy the journey. The journey is where memories are made. The journey is where successes are savored. The journey is where hope is restored. The journey is what life is really about. So, is your marriage struggling? Use the OODA Loop to help you navigate and get to where you want to be. Are you having a difficult time with a coworker? Use the OODA Loop to help navigate that situation. Do you not know what to do with your future, with the things that are going on in your life? Use the OODA Loop to help make a decision to set you back on the path. Really, anything that comes your way, anything that you see as a barrier or a stressor in your life right now, you can use the OODA Loop to help you navigate. Even though the OODA Loop was developed by the military as a quick decision-making tool, it can really be used for almost any obstacle that you face in your life, any barrier that you come up against. It can be used in relationships on how to reorient your relationship. It can be used in your businesses. It can be used in financial planning, and it can be used almost anywhere. Anytime that you feel stuck, you can use the OODA Loop. If you're like me, then you probably like the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And one of the things I find most fascinating about most of the characters, most of the main characters in the story, is that they face hardship after hardship, but they have a singular goal, and that's to destroy the One Ring. And any one of them could have quit at any moment. There are so many barriers that they faced, but they decided to continue on the journey without stopping until they completed what they were supposed to do. And I want to encourage you, as you face these different barriers, these things that you come up against, whether it's the OODA Loop or something else, use it to overcome the situation and accomplish your goal. Just as Frodo continued on to destroy the ring, no matter what barrier or obstacle he faced, I want to encourage you to continue on your journey. No matter what barrier or obstacle you face, overcome it and move on, just like Frodo did, and learn from it. Frodo faced a ton of obstacles, but he didn't let any of those obstacles stand in his way to destroying the One Ring. And I want to encourage you to likewise, as you face these obstacles, as you face these barriers in your journey, is to not let them stand in your way. I think this is something that's really important to consider. All of us in our journey at some point are going to hit a barrier, and that barrier is going to paralyze us. We're not going to know what to do. Now, when we hit this barrier, this obstacle, oftentimes we allow that obstacle to be an excuse that holds us back from that life that we're trying to live, or hold us back from that dream or from that potential success. And what I want to share with you is that it's really about your perspective. See, whenever we come up to a barrier, we're either going to see it as an obstacle or an opportunity. Oftentimes, our default is to look at it pessimistically. We look at it as an obstacle or a barrier that we cannot overcome. But I want to challenge that thinking. I want you to see these barriers not as obstacles, but as opportunities to overcome. In most every situation, there is a way around that obstacle. There is a way to overcome. And that's where things like the OODA Loop come in. These kinds of tools can help us assess the situation, assess where we are at, and help give us a game plan to get to where we're trying to go. So thank you for watching this video. Hopefully this is a tool that you can put in your tool bag as you navigate life and the challenges that it brings. and you can also use it to help other people as they navigate life. If you liked this video, please make sure to subscribe, hit the bell so that way you're reminded anytime a new video comes out. Like it, share it, comment down below, and let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to hear about, and also maybe let us know how we can improve these videos. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, and I just want you to know I love you guys, and keep on fighting the good fight, and God bless.